is Marissa. Thank you so much for making time to watch my video. The reason why I started posting these videos was because at the time that I was going through a lot after having my son, I didn't really have that much support other than maybe 2 or 3 friends that were open to sharing with me things that really happen, such as postpartum depression after having a child. My son is now 32 months and it's been a really long time, but I still wanted to share with you my experience. Shortly after I had my son, I would say about 5 to 6 weeks after giving birth to him, was when I really started to feel a mix of emotions. More than just sadness, I felt alone. I felt like I didn't have anyone to really open up to and talk to and explain and express how I felt. And on top of that, I felt like it was very hard for me to express the feelings that I was experiencing at the time. Because it's been, I would say, about a year, maybe 6 months since I did experience that. Maybe I'm too far removed from the feelings, but maybe I'm not. But I still thought it would be good to put this into a video to share with you from my experience and my perspective from experiencing postpartum depression and what helped me overcome feeling the way that I felt. So shortly after I had my son, I remember actually going to see the lactation specialist about a week, maybe 2 weeks after I had my son, and she said, "How are you feeling? Are you feeling okay? Are you feeling sadness?" And she asked me different questions on how I was feeling, and I told her, "I'm feeling great, I'm feeling really happy, nothing out of the ordinary." However, shortly after that, I would say about week 5, week 6, is when it really started to affect me, how I was feeling as a mother. I didn't know that what I was feeling was normal. I feel like the medical community, the doctors, my OB, and the lactation therapist were the way that they approached postpartum depression was, okay, fill out this questionnaire, we'll ask you questions after you bring your son in, or after you have your exam and checkup after you've given birth a few weeks after. I felt like, I wouldn't say dismissive, but I would say more like they didn't have the right tools to help women in that situation. I know that they're not therapists and that their jobs are just to check for postpartum depression or even postpartum psychosis or whatever you might have, but they weren't really there to be a therapist. And I remember when my son went in, I don't remember how old he was, and I took him to his pediatrician, and she had a questionnaire for me to fill out how I was feeling. And I remember checking every one of those questions as, yes, I'm feeling lonely. Yes, I feel sad. Yes, I feel upset. All of these questions that they ask you, I don't even remember what they were at the time because it's been at least a year, maybe a year and a half since I filled out the questionnaire. And I remember I felt so alone, and I just sat in her office and I thought, this lady's gonna think I'm crazy because I just came in with my partner, everything was fine, and now I'm here alone weeks later and I'm feeling different. I feel like part of us is not, I didn't feel like it was acceptable for me to feel okay feeling the way that I felt. I remember I didn't feel like myself, and at the time I didn't realize that the way I was feeling was common, because everyone else, well, the majority of my friends that I had talked to about giving birth were just having a grand old time and everything was peachy keen and rosy and all of this. However, I did have a couple friends that expressed to me that they also had postpartum depression and that the feelings that I was experiencing were normal, such as I felt alone, I felt isolated, I felt upset. I remember this one night, it was a very difficult night. I was putting my son to sleep. And I was so upset because he wouldn't stop crying. And I remember one of the things, I don't know if I read it or heard it or where, but it said, if you're upset and you cannot, it was a book that I read, you don't have the capacity to deal with the child, put the child down. I think my son was about 3 or 4 months and I wasn't feeling well. I was going off of maybe 3 hours of sleep because he wasn't sleeping through the night yet. I was so tired, I was so frustrated, and so I put him in his crib and I just let him cry because I didn't have the mental capacity or the energy to really hold him and comfort him in that moment. But I also knew that if I didn't put him down, I was going to have like a mental breakdown. I feel guilty for saying that out loud now, but I know that my feelings are valid, and the way that I was feeling, lack of sleep, being exhausted, I don't think I had gone back to work yet at that time. I was just so physically drained and exhausted. I was nursing him and I was pumping, so I was waking up multiple times to nurse him and to pump. I'm thankful that I had friends to help me get through that process. And I'm thankful that I, after the fact, realized that it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to put your son down or your daughter down, your child down. And it's okay to ask for help. One thing that I've learned now that my son is a little bit over 2.5 is my experience with my child, my son. The first year was the hardest year of my life, being that he needed me there because I was nursing him. He also had a dairy intolerance, which he's already outgrown, which is great. It was a very difficult year. However, I am thankful that I've grown past that and he's grown past that. He doesn't need me to be there as much. He goes to daycare and back at work. It's a different situation. I am thankful though that I had my group of friends that were very open and honest with me and shared with me that the way that I was experiencing, the feelings that I felt at the time were normal, and that they were there to help me work through what I was feeling at the time. I also did have my partner's mom who told me, if you ever need us to be there, there's something that you feel like it's too much for you, please call us. I never took her up on her offer to call her late at night when I was home alone because my partner works nights, but I'm thankful that I did have that. I know that not everyone has that. However, my reason in making this video is to let you know that however you're feeling, your feelings are valid. If you ever feel like you're struggling, reach out to a family member, a friend, anyone that's there for you. Or if you don't have anyone, I believe you can leave your child with the firefighters, the fire department. There's always a way out. There's always a way to get you to be able to calm the way that you were feeling so that your baby is safe. Because I know as a mother and also reflecting on how I felt alone at that time and like I was going crazy. I'm thankful that I reached out to the people that I did, my friends that were open and honest with me to help me get through that very difficult time in my life. Now reflecting on that time, it's been at least a year. I see things very differently. My family doesn't live here, the city that I live in. My family lives about 1,000 miles away. But I am thankful that I made sure that I had friends to reach out to, friends that had children to reach out to, and even my friends that didn't have children that were here for me. And I'm thankful that I had them. The reason why I decided to make this video and share with you how I am feeling is to let you know that you are not alone in how you are feeling. And if you need help, talk to your medical provider, ask for help, ask for guidance, reach out to a friend. If that friend isn't there for you, isn't willing to listen or help you and guide you, reach out to someone else. There are resources, the medical community does have them, but above all, you are not alone. It is only a part of raising a child, and you will get through that. Anyway, that's my experience. I feel a lot better now. I feel like I am myself. It took me at least a year to feel normal, as in getting back to enjoying the things that I love. And I'm thankful that I finally started running again, working out again, spending times with friends again, and prioritizing myself. I know I rambled for a really long time. It was a very difficult time in my life where things in my life were very difficult. And I know this is probably not the best message or the clearest message, but I want to let you know that you are not alone and that we all experience it. Well, some of us have better experiences after childbirth, but I hope that I've been able to help you at least understand that there are other women experiencing what you might feel, and that you don't have to go at it alone. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you found this informative. I hope you have a great day. Thank you.